Alright, this is such a good song. Thank you, Ben. Hey! I have a secret for you. Shh, can't tell anyone. I wear makeup. And it's not for anyone but myself. It's very important to practice self-love. I was gonna make a video about that today. I think I'm gonna save it for when I'm in a better mood. If you have acne and you think that you don't need to moisturize, maybe that was just a thing that I did. Moisturizing is so important. Okay, I'm using only the camera to see what I'm doing, and it's really hard. I have a lot of freckles. I actually really like them. Like, I know a lot of people don't like their freckles. I grew to like my freckles a lot, and it makes me sad when I have to put foundation over them. I can't find my tweezers, so we're gonna use this thing so that tomorrow morning I can wake up with a bunch of brown dots on my eyebrows. The reason I do this, just makeup in general, is because it's very therapeutic, even though it's really stressful. All of my makeup products are either really high-end or like really, like this is Maybelline. Oops! You can tell I'm not an expert by the fact that 1, I'm 10 years old, and 2, I knew this was just gonna go terribly, but I thought I could make it work, make it easy, make it clever, craft it into pieces. Guess not. I like watching people talk while doing their makeup. So there must be other people out there who like that too, right? Maybe. This is not a beauty blender. I got this at Hot Topic like 2 years ago. I did it. I was like, have I done makeup before on my channel? And then I was like, oh yeah, I did that video where I pretended it was a makeup tutorial, and then I actually turned into Pepe, and then Pepe became a Nazi symbol or something. Alright, I saw this thing a while ago that said your worst day only lasts 24 hours. I generally hate stuff like that because it's not usually your worst day, it's usually like a stretch of time that really sucks. And also, I just don't like things that invalidate feelings. But at the same time, the This Is Me video, I was looking over the one that I wrote in May, and it was like really sad. Like, I was really not feeling so great in May, and I think part of it was a result of not having my camera. But there was just a bunch of stuff that was going on in May. It hasn't been that long. We're pretty early into June, and I feel better generally. But at the same time, most people's lives sort of go like this, and mine will sort of go like way down and then way up, because it can be extreme sometimes. Whenever things start to go a little bit downward, I'm like, oh my god, my life is over. You're probably like, Cameron, what are you doing? I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. Beauty standards. Am I right? We all know that models in magazines are photoshopped. We all know that. But sometimes that just doesn't change the fact that we still look at those people. We don't know how much they're photoshopped. Now that you can get plastic surgery to basically do anything, at least somewhat, the world is your oyster, but at the same time, the world is your place to stare at yourself and be like, I'm so ugly, which is what I did for a while. And exposure is really important in those situations, because there was a point where I sort of thought that the only body type was really skinny. It was bad, because I was like, I gotta get real skinny real fast, which is not healthy, not good. Don't do that. I don't know. I just spent a lot more time with body positivity stuff, and it took a really long time. For a while, I would just look at all these pages and be like, this is just dumb. And then I was like, wait, these people are really pretty. And then I discovered that there are many body types that are totally all acceptable. I sort of talked about this in the Real Women video, but not really. We often will say something along the lines of, you're not fat, you're beautiful. But the thing is, you can be both. They're not antonyms. Get rid of that mindset. But on a completely separate note, can we talk about what my eyebrows naturally looked like a year ago versus today? I will remember you. Will you? Girl. When Uglies first came out, I read it a couple years ago, and I thought it was really good. Everyone that I've talked to since then is like, that was a really bad book. I feel like the fact that we even use Photoshop is like dystopian. The fact that we can't just deal with how people naturally look, and we like put filters on them in magazines and stuff to make their legs look perfect and their face have no wrinkles. And it's weird because beauty standards change so much. At some point it's gonna be super out of style to draw these weird triangles at the corner of your eyes. Think about eyebrows in the 90s and like the early 2000s. Like that now is like, why would you do that? The new look for eyebrows is like huge, bushy brows. So what do you do if you lived in the early 2000s and you were like, oh, I gotta pluck my brows down? At some point in the future, people are gonna look at pictures of us. Not when you hold me. Every time I come up, gotta say it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it, and the thing that they can be doing because it doesn't matter. Why did none of you tell me there was lipstick on my teeth? None of you were gonna tell me that?